I'm Janice Edwards. Coming up on Signature Silicon Valley, we are on location for the JBLC Pro Speak Speaker Bureau Super Bowl Business Luncheon and Launch Party. Rennell from the Giants will be here. Dr. Jamie Williams, Super Bowl champion. Dennis Brown, Super Bowl champion. It's going to be an incredible event. That's coming up next. Plus, we have the American Heart Association on what you should know to save a loved one, and an update on the Alzal Festival with Jenny Doe. Join us. I'm Janice Edwards, and welcome to Signature Silicon Valley. We are on location for a very special event, a Super Bowl business luncheon and launch party for JBLC Pro Speak Speakers Bureau. Dr. Joseph Bryant has brought together former Super Bowl champions and community leaders for an exciting event. We'll talk with them here on the red carpet. What do you remember about winning the Super Bowl?
I remember the most the journey getting to the Super Bowl, and I came here in 1990, and we had lost to the Giants in the NFC Championship game, and it took us 4 years to get back. And I just remember the hard work and the struggles that we went through as a team kind of broke up. I was at the end of kind of the dynasty years, and getting back and bringing the trophy back to the Bay Area in '94.
And Dr. Joseph Bryant, what can you say about him and this vision for today?
Well, it's outstanding. I mean, I met Pastor about 4 or 5 years ago. He had a radio show, and I was on his radio show, and he gave me some inspiring words, and I've always kind of carried those, as pastors can do for you. They put it in your heart, and they put it in your soul, and I've always kind of wanted to be there to support his causes, because he was there for me when I was kind of at a low time, and he gave me some very inspirational things. So I'm happy to be here and support him and his cause.
I'm happy to be here for the JBLC lunch and to be here with Pastor Brian, and to give whatever opportunities that I can give back to him to help out the launching of his new event. And I'm just happy to be here. I'm here to talk about my business too, which is Pro Athlete Business Group, which you see on the back here.
I see that you're a sponsor.
Yeah, it's definitely a sponsor, and and just to meet the guys and get to know a lot of people who I haven't seen here in a while.
Well, Dion, it's great to see you again. Last month we were in studio talking about this event, and now you're here today. So this launch of the Pro Speak Speakers Bureau is really exciting. What do you want people to know about it?
Well, it is very exciting, and we had a great time with you last month. One of the things that I want people to know about this is that these are former and current professional athletes that really have a heart to share and to give of themselves. A lot of them and all of us have had a lot of success. Now this is an opportunity for us to have some significance, if you will, in being able to impart based on our experience and things that we learned and went through in life, and just be able to share. So that's the main thing that we want people to know about what's going on.
Yes. We are talking with Rusha Brown now. Welcome. Your reason for being here today and why this is an important event.
As a member of the WNBA, I feel it's very necessary for us to take a stand and have a say also. And this is a great project that Pastor Brian is putting on, and the opportunity to speak to the community and to the youth and to the business network.
What particular challenges, if any, do you find that women in sports face that might be different from men?
They're primarily the same, but as a woman, when you have a family, it makes a difference for you. So you have to wait until your career is over to primarily have a family, but then afterwards, it affects you also in the business world.
The importance of today, can you share with us?
I think it's just important that we, get out the message about what Dr. Brian's trying to do, and give people exposure to the people that are a part of it, and give them a voice to share their story and share their experience.
And you are the CEO. Tell me a little bit about your company.
So we are a sports performance development firm. So that means that we develop our athletes from a speed, a skill, and a strength perspective. We serve athletes in 4 sports: boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, football, and baseball.
And Dr. Brian has this vision. This is the launch today. Can you share why this event and the Speaker Bureau is important for the community?
So many athletes, young middle school and high school athletes, just don't know what it means to work hard and what it means to get to the next level.
No, I know. I saw Tom's early.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he had your tomato juice. I said, well, she's already on the carpet.
I know. I know. It's so sweet of him to do that.
Aw.
Yeah. So we are talking with my dear friend Renelle. Of course, I love her, but everybody loves her.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, yes, yes. The voice of the Bay, the voice of the Giants. What brings you here today?
Well, I'm honored to be the MC today as part of this wonderful event as we celebrate Super Bowl 50 week in San Francisco. So exciting.
Yes.
And it's awesome to be at His Lordship's, Janice.
I know.
It's so great to have His Lordship still here, everybody.
I know.
It's like an icon, right?
I was thinking that an icon in
Yeah.
50 years, many more years than that, it's been here.
Yeah.
You were doing such incredible things. You have some championship rings of your own. So, all right, you've known Dr. Bryant for many years. So let's talk about him, this vision, this launch, and why it's so special.
I just really appreciate everything he's doing for athletes post playing career, you know. It's super important. A lot of athletes have trouble transitioning and everything, and he's really giving them the mentorship they need and helping them transition into a different career after their playing days, which I think is extraordinary and so important because a lot of them don't know what to do afterwards. So he's preparing them for the other side. Yeah, yeah.
Well, we've talked over the years as friends about championships moving forward, and in Friends of Faith, we just remember her dearly as the champion that she was. So what's your personal motto that keeps you going?
My personal motto, well, actually, faith is a huge inspiration, obviously, to both of us. And she really keeps me going. When I find myself stressing out about the biz, I think about how courageous she was every day in her life, you know, with or without her health struggles. You know, she was a soldier and a champion, and I try to really, really relate to that when I'm losing it. And President of the NFL Players Association, Northern California chapter, Douglas Holly. What? Oh, yeah. We're here to raise funds to support the Good News Today Foundation. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization founded in 2002. This organization provides employment and educational services for at-risk and underprivileged youth and their families, as well as scholarships for students who are going on into the performing arts, media, and broadcasting. So that's what we're raising money for today. That's why we're here, okay? So let's make sure that we raise a lot of money. We've got a raffle going on, and we've got a live auction going on, which I hope you will all check out and bid generously on these items. Well, since you brought up Joe Montana, maybe you could tell us something that we'd be surprised to know about him? Because, you know, we all know the legend and we all know about him. We've watched him play for several years and seen that great career. Is there something about Joe that we might be surprised to know about?
I think people would be surprised how much of a student he was. If he walked in this room, you wouldn't know he was an athlete. Because even when he played, because he came in and he didn't have big muscles, he had no calves, he had these little buggy whoop arms, and he just looked like a regular guy. But when it came to the game, he had a laser focus. And I can remember leaving workouts, and he always had like a whole bag of film to take back with him. After we've had meetings all day, and we watch film all day, and he's taking more film to go and watch the game. And I'm gonna give you one Montana story. This is how good this dude was. Now here I played with Warren Moon, and he, Black Clark Gable, big pop out arms, could throw the ball a mile. And I'm thinking, Montana, he might be hype. Now Roger Craig and I went to high school together and college together. And Roger was like, man, Montana's a real deal, James. He's a real deal. He's a real deal. So I don't say anything, I'm just watching. And so my position coach calls me and Brick Jones into the office one time. He says, hey, I want you guys to see something because you want to tell your kids about this. And Joe, we're in a game playing the New York Giants. And there's a guy named Mark Collins that was covering John Taylor. And John's running a deep over route, okay? And this is back when the Giants had Lawrence Taylor. Whoa. And they had Leonard Marshall. And it's the end zone. Most fans don't get to see the end zone view. So they're breaking it down. Joe Montana goes through his drop, his 5, 6, 7 step drop. And you can see the line blocking. And here comes Lawrence Taylor on this side, Leonard Marshall on this side. And you can see they're coming off their blocks. And you can see Joe going, he's not open, he's not open, He's not open. And you're like, oh, he's going to get smashed. And as soon as, I mean, Lawrence Taylor's right here. You're Joe, right?
Yes.
He's right here, okay? And Joe Montana, you can see his head in slow motion go, it just does like that. As soon as he does like that, he lets the ball go.
Yes.
And he gets wiped out of the film. I mean, you don't even see him on the film. He got hit and knocked out of the film. You just see the ball going down the middle of the field in a perfect spiral, and you don't see anybody in the middle of the field. And you're thinking, he's throwing it away. And at the last second, as the ball comes off his apex and comes down, John Taylor steps right into the film and catches the ball. And Mark Collins is diving full, and he can't get there. And the ref comes in and does this.
Oh, my God.
Okay, this dude is good. This dude is good.
Oh, and we'll leave it on that note, all right? Dr. Jamie Williams.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. You know, being a San Francisco raised guy right here in Bayview Hunters Point is where I'm from.
Amen. Yes.
The one dream that I've always had was to grow up, get drafted by the 49ers and play for the 49ers and lead our team to a Super Bowl and actually get a win. You know, unfortunately we didn't get the win, but I was able to basically live part of my dream, most of my dream, and it was just an amazing feeling.
Yeah, can you also speak on the mental toughness that we were speaking about earlier, how important that is, and how you have found that in your experience as a player?
You know, having mental toughness, man, is a big thing in this business that we play in. Growing up from where I came from and being around the soldiers in my past, like my mother, and you know, and meeting guys like Pastor Brian in my lifetime, you know, they help you so much and they bring you to where you are today. You know, I've been through so much and seen so many different things happen that my mental toughness today, you know, has brought me to a level of, you know, satisfaction to where it's unbearable to believe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been here and there with my career, you know, ups and downs with my career. Like I'm actually at the point in my career where I haven't played in a year and a half, 2 years. So I'm thinking about going back, but mentally, you know, that'll drain you and make you want to quit.
Really?
Just like a lot of these other guys talk about, you know, the one thing in this business is you can't quit. Because once you quit, somebody else is going to walk right over you, and you're going to be left behind.
Right.
So just continuously having that mental toughness and having a tunnel vision to see one thing and going after it, you know, it'll take you a long way.
I want to thank you all for giving us the privilege of being here today. It's an awesome group of men and women that we have a chance to get to meet and know. Dr. Brian has done an amazing job. He has been such a positive influence on so many people, and they have in turn taken what he has given to them and passed it on to more. So it's an awesome opportunity for us all to be here and be part of this launch for you. So thank you very much.
Dr. Bryant, the event has concluded. Lots of laughs, lots of celebration, lots of wisdom. Your thoughts about today, and did it fulfill the vision that you had?
Well, I'm just grateful that people were able to come out and hear these players' stories. You know, I get the benefit of hearing them all the time, and I just thought it would be a good thing for us to launch this experience where all of the players could collectively not only share their stories here today, but now go around the country and go to different events and allow their voices to be heard. They have so much they can offer, so much they can give, and so yes, I'm very pleased just with the fact that we were able to begin this journey, and I'm excited to have all these guys be a part of it.
Yes, and they certainly look to you, and you've done so much for them. We talked about it last month on the show, and now this event has happened. You have other events this week. How has this Super Bowl week been for you?
It's been a little hectic, only because, you know, it's here in the city, and so people know I'm here, and so they're calling for different things and requests and whatnot. So I have to be gracious as I can be, because I can't be at everything and I can't help with everything. But in terms of just enjoyment, I really enjoyed it. I think San Francisco and the Bay Area in general has done an awesome job putting the Super Bowl on. And I was sharing with some people yesterday on Radio Row. This is my 6th or 7th year going to the Super Bowl week experiences, and San Francisco has taken things to another level. They've really raised the bar, and it's only Thursday, so I can only imagine what the rest of the week's going to look like.
Yes, and certainly you've raised the bar in many ways. Also, having your parents here, having your wife here to share this experience, what does that mean for you?
Oh, it means the world to me. I mean, I'm the product of those around me, and I mean that sincerely. My parents are phenomenal, and they support everything that I ever want to do, and they always have. Even when I was 10 years old and had a neighborhood baseball league for my buddies and I, and anything else that I ever imagined, my parents would always be there to supply or provide or encourage or direct, and so it's just a joy to have them. And my brother has always been there for me. He's always in the silent corner, just waiting on his opportunity to really do whatever he can to help me. And he's always a blessing. And my wife is just amazing. She really is. And so I'm just grateful, and I'm really thankful that they were here, and grateful that we can begin the journey together.
I'm Janice Edwards, and we are on location for the Super Bowl Business and Luncheon launch party for the Pro Speakers Bureau. And on our show today, we also have an opportunity to look forward to the Owl's Eye Festival. As you know, that's one of the festivals that celebrates Vietnamese art and culture, and it's always a must-attend event in San Jose. A few weeks ago, Jenny Doe, the founder, came to our studio. She wanted to encourage people to attend the festival. She also wanted to share a very personal challenge that she's facing. The Owl's Eye Festival is one of the highlights whenever it is presented because it is an incredible celebration. Jenny Doe is the founder and the heart of this festival. She's back with us with a very special guest, Fiona, who has performed in the festival for the last 5 years. So Fiona, we're glad to have you with us as well, and Jenny, so welcome. Let's talk a little bit about the festival. Jenny, for people who aren't aware of Owl's Eye, explain a little bit about it, please.
Owl's Eye Festival, first of all, thank you, Janice, for inviting us here today. It's such a pleasure and an honor. Owl's Eye Festival is a celebration of culture kind of event. It has multi-experience kind of design. So if you love music, you love fashion, you love theater, you love story, you love good food, you love good music, world-class music, and you love beautiful women, come to us.
It is incredible, and they have a story with a wedding and so many things there. Fiona, you are 10 now?
Yeah.
And you've performed in it for the last 5 years. What has been special for you in terms of performing at the Owl's Eye Festival?
What's most important to me is basically just how you can learn a lot of culture and folk tales, and that the dresses, they're one of the most beautiful dresses in the entire world.
Absolutely, they are indeed. And we're going to continue our conversation with Jenny to talk more about the festival. But if you'd like to get your tickets or find out more, details are on our screen. And Jenny, Fiona is just delightful, and so many people enjoy performing in the festival. Let's talk about this tradition and how you decided to bring this festival to San Jose.
It's the dream that we would like to have a festival that bring the confluence of different disciplines of art together, from theater to music to all kinds of different celebration. But it's very colorful, very beautiful. The story has a two part. One is from the outside, where we're gonna have a story being told that is free for everybody to see, and it's incredibly in terms of stage building and performance, it's going to be incredible amount of effort. But this is the main thing, is that to show the mainstream as well as to our second generation, the youth, the Vietnamese American youth, of where they came from. What Vietnam history is all about, what the culture is all about, but in a fun and very highly artistic way, so that they should be proud of where we came from, and secondly, to have a deeper understanding of the plight of many Vietnamese refugees, so again.
Right, and you came to Silicon Valley from Vietnam.
Correct. Yes. And today, before I came here, I was very, very sick, and I thought that I'm not going to make it, because I am stage 4 breast cancer, and it's not, we can't say me as a survivor yet, because we're still fighting for it. Yes. And the doctor right now told me I only have 30 days to 90 days to live. although I don't believe it, and the entire community is helping me to cope with this and to succeed, to fight. But my dream right now, even though I can't walk and work properly, is that to make sure that the Outside Festival will continue to shine and live with or without me, and continue to be a tradition of San Jose for every 2 years.
Yes, well, Jenny, we are certainly praying that you will be here to celebrate the festival in the year to come and many more years to come every time. But I just want to thank you personally for who you are and all that you give, your spirit. You know, we talk about putting our signature on the Valley, and you have done that, and you do that in such beautiful ways. And so I'm so glad that you have all of that support, and you have our support here as well. We are just looking forward to some good news for you and praying for you to be able to say that you're a survivor.
I think all the God up there is helping me right now, and I believe that I will overcome it with the help of the community. And I put everything I have, and not just me, Steve and so many others in the organization. We have about 200 people involved.
Yes.
But the Outside Festival is not just an event. It symbolizes the beauty in all of us. Yes. The beauty, it doesn't matter what background you're from. This is where you come to just celebrate and be who we are, and not, judging each other. And then my hope eventually is that we can have a community center where all the Vietnamese youth can come together and receive our assistance. We would like to have the youth to take over, and eventually, they should lead the community.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. And because of the festival and what they learn and the youth enjoy participating so much, you've given them such a beautiful foundation. So we want to encourage you all to enjoy the festival, support the festival. You've heard Jenny's dream, and this is an opportunity for us to come together and support. So please do so. We're still on location for the Super Bowl Business Luncheon and Launch Party, and we are experiencing some Super Bowl memorabilia envy. But now we're going to take a moment to go back to the studio to focus on our health with the American Heart Association. When it comes to a cardiovascular crisis, every second counts. The American Heart and Stroke Association is dedicated to making sure that people have the necessary information and tools to make a life-saving difference. Angie Scott joins us now. She's a volunteer with the American Heart Association, also a PE coordinator in the Santa Clara County Unified District. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You know, we were talking before our segment, and tragically both you and I have lost parents to heart attacks and heart failure. And so that informed my decision to become involved with the American Heart Association as a board member before, and I'm always excited to do segments because a lot of times people don't want to think about it, but it's so important. And it's so easy now because one of the things you're going to demonstrate today is hands-on CPR. Yes. Now, why has hands-on CPR become the preferred method of CPR that the American Heart and Stroke Association is really promoting at this time?
So about up to about a couple of years ago, everybody knew that CPR dealt with chest compressions as well as giving breaths. And people just naturally don't want to give breaths and go mouth to mouth with someone that they don't know. And so naturally they would maybe make a phone call to 911, but they would stand around and not do anything while that person is clinically dead because they're unconscious and in a cardiac arrest. But we could be doing something to help them when they do get saved, and hopefully their quality of life would be better. And that's by pumping the blood through the body, especially to the brain, because the oxygen in the brain can eliminate or reduce the brain damage. So people were doing nothing, but so American Heart Association looked at it and said, if we can do chest compressions and we can get more people to respond, then we're gonna have survivors, more survivors, and survivors with quality life afterwards.
That is wonderful. So how long does it take to learn CPR?
Minutes.
Minutes?
Minutes.
Okay.
It's to save a life, you don't have to have that card in your pocket saying I'm certified. It's about being able to step over that boundary and say I can help, and I'm going to help someone who can't help themselves. It's learning about noticing that someone is down, calling 911, and pushing hard and fast.
Right. So what are the signs that someone is suffering from that? I mean, obviously, many times they've fainted and they're just unconscious on the ground. You may not know if it's a heart attack or not. What else would tell someone that it's a cardiovascular problem?
So when you see someone down, you're going to definitely tap and say, hey, are you okay? You want to see if you're going to see any response and if they're going to wake up. If you see no response, you're immediately obviously calling 911, but you're assuming the worst, because if it is truly a cardiac arrest, they need that blood pumping to the brain immediately. And so you're going to start pumping right away so that you can get that quality of life after they do get saved. And if it isn't, that chest compression is going to hurt and it's going to wake them up. Okay. And so the idea is getting in there and getting some quick responses. So you're checking for a response, you're calling 911, and if you have someone nearby with you and they know that there's an AED, go find an AED.
An AED is an
automated external defibrillator. Okay. And so CPR is going to keep someone in a holding pattern. It's going to keep the blood and the oxygen going to the brain, but it's never going to reset that heart. That heart's never going to beat it on its own just by doing CPR. It's the shock from a defibrillator that resets that heart and allows it to start beating again.
Right, and these days many places do have the AEDs on site.
Yes,
right?
they do.
And so if a person is on the ground, then you should be kneeling to do CPR. Now here you're going to stand because we're on the table, obviously,
yes.
But can you just show a little bit of how to do it?
Absolutely. So you're over them, you're going to say, hey, are you okay? No response. I need you to call 911. I need you to get the AED. And then with my knees parallel to the body, I'm going to interlock my fingers, pull back my hand so the heel of my hand is going right on that sternum, because the idea is that you want to compress the heart between the sternum and the backbone so that we send all the blood out. And so sternum is the middle of the body, and then nipple line is right where your heart is. So you're going to interlock your fingers, pull back, and you're going to have the pressure go right through the sternum so that you are sending that blood to the brain, and you're going to do it to this beat of the song Staying Alive.
Oh, wow.
And why, I mean, it's ironic. Exactly.
Staying alive, staying alive. Okay.
And that's 100 beats per minute.
Really?
And so it's really cool that that song actually correlates with the same time frame that we need.
Wow, that is interesting. And you know, I was feeling somewhat emotional as you were doing it, just thinking about that. I spoke briefly about what happened with your mom. Could you share a little bit about what happened and how that's inspired your work with the Heart Association?
I was pregnant with my oldest daughter when my mom passed away of a cardiac arrest. We knew there were some heart issues, but never knew it would be fatal. And so because of that, I wanted to try to make our community a little bit safer. So in the schools, we're doing hands-only CPR with students, not only in the middle school, but at the high school level. We're doing community events because it literally takes minutes to learn. It's just about recognizing someone's down, telling someone to call, telling someone to get the AED, and pressing hard and fast, because it's probably going to be a loved one, it's probably going to be a friend, or it could be someone in public, but you might know this person that you're trying to save. And with heart disease and cardiac arrest is the #1 killer in the U.S. And so it's out there. I've thankfully never had to do it, knock on wood, but everybody should be prepared to do it and step over that line and help.
Well, you do it with such confidence, and it really is reassuring as you're doing it, because like you said, it could make the life-saving difference, and that's so important. I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for the work that you're doing. We know that there are lots of events that the American Heart Association has. We wanted to do it not because February people think about it, but March is important, April's important, May, throughout the year. There are events, there are ways to make the difference, and in just minutes you can learn CPR and hopefully save a life. So Angie, thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
And thank you to your daughter who's here. She's so adorable, and Maisha from the Heart Association as well. We appreciate you all, and we appreciate what you're doing. So please contact the American Heart and Stroke Association. Details are on our screen. And that's our show. I'm Janice Edwards. Thank you for putting your signature on our Silicon Valley. Please join us again next time. We look forward to seeing you then.